in Iceland, and especially commentating with you, Ingvar.
Yeah, it's
Welcome.
nice to be back, where it all started, me and Fiona.
Absolutely. This was my first ever, not just commentary job, but job at any tournament 5 years ago here in Reykjavik, back in 2014 with Ingvar. We're back this year. The round started 2 hours ago. This is what we're going to be doing every day. We'll start the live show 2 hours into the round. Before we jump into the games, because a lot is happening already, let me just give you a bit of information about the tournament. There is this year 237 participants from a total of 33 countries, so it's a very international tournament. Also a very strong tournament, 31 Grandmasters, 18 International Masters, and a total of 84 titles.
Yeah, we might mention we lost a few people in the final days because of the airline WOW.
Yes, crazy.
Had to cease operations, so we had some people that had to cancel the tournament, unfortunately. But we still have a nice number, 237, I believe you said.
Also, we are on my Twitch channel, so hello to everyone, more than 80 of you who are watching us already. Hopefully there'll be more in a little while. And shout out to Henry, aka the Yellow Dragoon, who once again recently got his FM title, so congratulations once again. And hello, of course, to everyone else who's in the chat. And I'll be keeping an eye. I think we're going to go to the games now, but I will be keeping an eye on the chat. So if you have any questions about the games or any games you would like to see, let me know in the chat.
Yeah, I think we should have some feeds from the top board, so we can have a look at Gawain on board 1.
So Gawain is the top seed. He's been doing very well recently, and I think his rating on 1st April is the highest he's ever had.
Yeah, he's 26.98.
Yeah, it's very close.
Not an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering before, is he England number 1 now?
No, actually, David Howe on the live list, maybe.
Maybe, okay.
I mean, on the published April 1st, David was the number 1, but
he must be 26.99 then.
No, he was 20. He's 27 plus.
Oh, he's over 2700. Okay.
On April 1st, but he didn't have the best Bundesliga weekend. Actually, lost to 2400 IM on Saturday, but then he beat McShane on Sunday. So things are moving a lot in English chess.
I saw something on Facebook that they were
maybe after David lost, maybe Gawain.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning that there was no 2700, maybe. So maybe we have a comment from Raka Orion that the board is not square enough.
Yeah, here I can see it as well. It's a bit stretched out. We'll see. We'll see if we can fix that. But I'm sure you'll see it. Okay, so let's go to Gawain's game. Gawain is white against Ludwig Degelmann from Germany. Yeah, weighted 22.
This is the board where Arkady Dvorkovich made the ceremonial first move for Gawain Jones, which was pawn to e4. Or was it perhaps Katrin?
I think it was Katrin, actually. It was so we had the Prime Minister of Iceland, Katrin Jakobsdóttir.
Yes, exactly.
And FIDE President Arkady Dvorkovich here with us for the first move, which was great. And I think, once again, Iceland, of course, there's been, after 1972, a huge chess boom. And I think a lot of things will be happening here in the years to come.
Yeah, they did discuss some things about 2022, when we have the 50-year anniversary of the match of the century. But Ludwig, he played e6, so we had the French. And Gawain went for knight to d2, which is the Tarras variation. A very, very solid option.
You are a French player yourself, I believe.
Yes. Me and Simon. And we both like to play knight f6 here. I think these lines are very, very solid for white and a good choice. I believe Lawrence Trent had some videos on Chess24 about this line. He was playing a match yesterday.
I saw that. I watched that.
He was losing like a dog when I...
Yeah, in the end it was close. I guess the Twitch community will know all about this. The infamous match between Lawrence Trent and Greg Shahadi, which ended after some controversy in Greg's favor.
Okay. I was looking for somebody to take my bets. I wanted to.
Who did you want to bet on?
Greg, of course.
Well, they will have a double or quits rematch, so
okay.
You can be seeking action for that one.
Okay, so Queen went with the main line, knight to e2. Knight to f3 is also quite possible. Knight g to f3 is also quite common, but he played knight to e2. So we have the analysis board is okay.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
So the board on your right is where we are working towards the current position. Ludwig took on d4, which is the main line, and f6. Gwen took on f6, again the main line. Still, knight f4 is always a very interesting choice. Black has to give up an exchange here. He takes on d4, and we have queen h5 check. And this strange looking king e7, and he takes f6 is actually the correct move order when we take with a knight, and black has to give up the exchange. But these lines are very, very tricky, and black has his chances, and white has to be very careful. He has to at least know what he's doing. This you can all find on Simon Williams's excellent Die by Die.
By his David A's.
By the Die by Die. But okay, in this one, Queen went for the main line, which is considered quite solid for white. Queen c7 by black. This is the same line that I play actually. Castles is probably, well, Queen c7 is probably taken over, but castles used to be the main move. Yeah. But now Queen c7, Bishop g5, castles.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. That's something we will need to do. Just pointed out in the chat, we will need to add the player names to the board.
Ah, yes.
So okay. We'll do that.
It's good to get
feedback.
Get some feedback, because we're working on things here. Bishop h4 is what people used to play here. I myself had a line here again, a game against Grandmaster Jónet Árnason. First time I played this line, I had studied it quite well. It's a very theoretical line. It's Bishop h4, black goes knight h5, and white goes, I think, Queen g2, h6, check on h7, etc. And black sacrifices the exchange, as very often happens in the French.
The assessment is unclear.
It's unclear. I mean, white has his chances. I played it exactly like this against Dion, and I got the upper hand, but he managed to hold on for the draw. But the rook c1 is also a very common move. The rook lines up against the queen on c7, and quite often this pin is annoying for black, because knight e5 becomes possible at some stage. Bishop d7, normal move, rook to e1.
You know, actually in this game, I had a quick peek with the engine at some point, long before we went live. And black had a chance at some point with knight g4. I think it was here, or the next move.
Yeah, it was here or the next move.
After knight c3, I believe.
Probably after, the knight goes here. He played queen to b8, but maybe he had knight g4 here.
Again,
I didn't really have a chance to look at it, but
I'm not sure how reliable the engine I was looking at was, but it was giving black quite some edge here.
Yeah.
After knight g4.
The point is that h2 is hanging.
Yeah.
And I also saw, I didn't really check, but the engine said
knight
something
d4,
like knight takes d4.
Yes.
I'm not.
I also I didn't look at it in any detail, but this looked very interesting. So let's have a look. Knight takes
so knight
d4.
takes. Guessing you take on f2.
Yeah. And I guess knight h3 is a.
Knight h3.
Well.
So
queen d2.
Okay, you have to protect the bishop, because like Fiona said, otherwise we'll just give a check here and take the bishop.
But can we take on g3 now?
Yeah, that was my original idea. Just take here, which looks quite promising. Because if we take, just queen take. But the white actually after might take 7. It's still
But the engine I believe like this. But again, once again, we are not. What happened there? A massive echo. We'll work. We'll fix things. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Either way, yeah. Also, so you know, we are not using engines like every year.
Not allowed.
Which is not allowed. I think it was our producer who scared the chat here. But yeah, it's day one. We're working on things, and once again, if you have feedback, both about or if you have comments about the game or feedback about the show, things we could do better, things we could.
Yeah, we'll
let us know.
We will work and grow as we should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so knight g4 looked like an interesting option for black here, but he played queen to b8. And yeah, let's just work towards the current position. Bishop g3 is always considered a good positional move for white to exchange off this bishop. And once black has to do that, he's left with some
dodgy squares.
Dodgy
and also
squares
the queen is now suddenly, what is the queen doing on b8?
Yeah. When I play this, I like the queen over on the king side somehow. Sometimes even on g7 it stands quite well. So okay, so he tries to work it back into the game. Queen to d2. I think this is where we're at. We have a few more moves. Let's see.
And by the way, welcome to everyone. Last time I checked, we had 80 viewers. We now have 330. I don't know where you all came from, but welcome. Once again, this is Reykjavik Open 2019 Round 1, and we're your hosts, not just for today, but every day for the coming 10 days. Mr. FM, Ingvar Tor Johannesson, aka Zibit, and myself, Fiona, I guess. Most of you will know. 800. Oh, it was just added on Chess24. Brilliant.
Oh, nice.
So welcome, 800 people, Ingvar.
Yeah.
It's gone up very quickly. Welcome to everyone who's just joined us, coming either from Chess24 or somewhere else. Also, Tigant is asking, is Eric playing? I guess you are referring to Eric Hansen.
No, but he's here.
He's here.
You told me, right?
I told you, yes.
I heard it somewhere.
There's some big names here. Eric Hansen is here. Anna Rudolph is here. Both of them are not playing. Both of them are here on a friendly visit. I mean, it's such a great place to visit. If you haven't been to Reykjavik Open, do come. Either to play or to visit. It's really great. And both Anna and Eric are going to TwitchCon in Berlin.
Okay, so
next
just
weekend,
telling us that.
or this coming weekend.
Do you know who is the strongest player to visit the tournament? Casually.
Yes. that was we were doing commentary together for 4 years ago.
Yeah, you did the interview.
Yeah. He also won the pub quiz. Will you be running the pub quiz?
Of course,
again?
It's my favorite.
Fantastic. Okay, so I don't know, you've gotten to the live position?
Yeah, we got the current position. Do we have any ideas or questions about?
We have one more move, knight f5, was played here by Degelman.
Yeah, okay.
And how do we assess this position? Well, you're the expert.
Yeah,
for those of you who joined us late, Ingvar is playing these positions as black himself. So how happy would you be here if you were black?
I'm not sure I would be very happy. I have a feeling black, white can just take on f5.
Let's have a look at that. Yeah. So after takes...
Probably rook takes. I mean, this looks
wrong
somehow. I think.
Sight.
I mean, you get rid of the backward pawn, but the d5 pawn is weak, and I think somehow usually blacks players on the f file.
Yeah.
And then I would like to play knight e5, but I can't at the moment. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
Can I do something crazy and play g4?
I was thinking about it.
And then push Gary all the way.
You're gonna push Gary all the way? Yeah, this could be a move.
And for those of you XRways, we are working on adding the names to the board. Also make the board a bit more square, but thanks again for your feedback. And for those of you who did join us, this is the board 1 game between Gawain Jones, the top seed, and Ludwig Degelman from Germany.
Well, it always has to be careful though about sacks on f3, so it might be possible to take on f3 now and take on d4, and usually black has excellent counterplay when he gets the knight on d4, even though he's done the exchange. We can easily protect it with e5, put a rook on the f file, and there's pressure here. So things to worry about. So I don't know. Maybe taking is not. It was my first instinct, but maybe it's not the best move. But if you don't take, then.
Gawain is still thinking about this. Also, another thing we haven't done yet is at the clock times. We'll do this hopefully for tomorrow at the latest. But Gawain has almost 1 hour still on the clock. His opponent is down to only 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Wow.
Yeah. With I don't actually know what the time control is. I guess an hour and 30 and 30 minutes, I suppose.
The rate of play is 90 minutes for 40 moves, plus 30 minutes after move 40. So saved by the bell.
So still 20 moves to make.
Yeah.
Or 19 moves for Digelman. Okay, so I think we get the partisan is making a good point. By the time we finish with the first board, all the other top boards will be finished.
Let's have a look at.
Let's go to board 3. We have been told that has finished already.
I was thinking the same. It finished already?
Yeah. And that is Alireza Firouzja, who I believe is probably the biggest talent out there at the moment. I saw even yesterday Hikaru in the Bullet Championships, he was asked who would be up there with him, in Bullet, and he said he only thought two players would be able to compete with him, Magnus Carlsen and Alireza Firouzja. Okay, so that's a big compliment. Also, I believe Ivan Sokolov, who has been his coach for a while, Ivan, who coaches the Iran national team, has hailed him as world championship
material. Yeah, he thinks it's
material.
world championship material, exactly.
Yeah, so let's see. It looked like a crushing game.
Yeah, quick look at the game. So Alireza had white. We should mention that Parham Maksudlu was supposed to play the tournament, but unfortunately he had problems with his visa, so we only have Alireza from Iran. We were supposed to have 2 of the most promising young players in the world, but Alireza will have to do this time. I think all eyes will be on him for this tournament. So the black pieces, Julius Chitka from
Germany.
From Germany. So bishop c4, e6, knight f3. And I thought, I had a quick look at the game earlier. It sort of looks like a very nice sort of Grand Prix type of position for white, where he just gets in f4, which comes here.
I love playing.
Yeah, I was just thinking this is like a position that you would feel
very happy here as white.
And the black setup doesn't seem, very threatening. White, I mean, this bishop, it's feeling quite good in this diagonal, and white is just ready to play f5. All the pieces are coming into the game somehow. I mean, the rook can, at some stage.
And it's very difficult for black to generate counterplay. I mean, you'd have to play d5 at some point.
Yeah, but it's not set up for that. Yeah. So. Okay, let's see. Rook c8. Trying to get some play eventually, but f5 now. Knight to e5. And now this nice move, f6. I'm guessing black is getting mated if he takes on c4. He didn't take. But this does not look like something that will end well.
Queen g5, maybe.
Yes. So are we in time?
Rook g8.
Oh, you might have g5 here though.
After rook f3.
Yeah, we would love to play here, but and the threat is to even if queen f8 we can take, and the bishop on c1 does the job.
A very nice line, this.
But black might be in time here, but this is catastrophic, and okay, at worst we can just take on c4 and then go for the mate. But he played g6 and now queen d2. So plan A, checkmate. Very simple idea. So black has to play king h8 to cover the square, queen to g5. Yeah, and probably he didn't feel like queen h6 was working because of g5. So he played queen to d5. So if he plays this move, again, we would love to play here, but then g5 is a move. So maybe you can play bishop g5 and then go for this rook swing. But okay, you played queen g5. Let's see what happened. d5. Finally trying to do something in the center, but
probably too late.
Might be too late here. Rook to f4.
I mean,
preparing
the
for
king
the rook
just
swing.
looks so deserted.
Yeah. What was wrong with? Yeah, okay. So rook f4. We don't have time to take on c4 because now we can get to swing the rook over and don't have time to defend. So he tries to free a square on f8 for his bishop to defend. But now Ali Reza simply pulls back, and now the knight is under attack, so he has to move that one. Knight to c6. Rook h4.
That's absolutely horrible.
And yeah, the threat is very simply to play queen to h6. So he tried to prevent that, bishop to f8, but now e5, closing down the king side, and black still doesn't have any.
Black barely has a move at all. Like, look at the next move.
He doesn't have
e7.
counterplay, and he plays knight to e7.
And after knight.
However, the knight cannot be taken right now because of bishop takes e7, and the rook hangs. So still, it looks very bad.
Well, let's see. Let's see if you can find out there the winning move here for white. We'll give you a second to see if you can figure it out. It's actually quite a nice finish.
That he played here?
Yep.
Okay.
You can also
maybe I should try to
yourself.
figure it out because I don't have the moves. Do we have time for, let's see, rook takes h7, king takes, queen h4, king g8, bishop h6. The pieces are so clustered, it seems like we have time for that. I'll just take on f8, queen h6.
You did figure it out. Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's what happened. So rook takes h7 was indeed played, king takes is forced, queen h4, king g8 only move, and bishop h6.
Resigns?
And black resigns, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think there's simply no stopping the mate at all.
Yeah, white simply wants to take on f8, and that removes the defender, and then the queen is free to move in and
there is no way the black king can run anywhere, because look at those pieces on c8,
Look
d8.
at the cluster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's really horrible.
Yeah, and you don't even have, any knight f5. I just take it off, and nothing really changed. Yeah, so, okay.
So, nice start for Ali Reza. It's his first time in Iceland. Actually, I arrived at the airport. I saw him at the airport yesterday. He's here with his dad. Seemed in very high spirits. Actually, I interviewed him back in 2015, which is a long time ago. He's grown up.
He's grown a lot.
Grown up a lot. Also become a lot stronger chess player, although he was already an up-and-coming talent back then. But off to a flying start. And now, where do we go? Do we have any suggestions in the chat, or where would you like to go next? Because I see that the Erwin game, at least on Chess24, it shows that it's finished, but I'm not sure if that is really the case.
Or some sort
Let's go to board 2 then. Let's go to board 2. Henk-Jan Visser from the Netherlands against Niels Grandelius.
Okay. Do we have board 2? Okay, so let's see. I think I have the moves from here. Yeah, it's.
And the Chessbra fans in the chat are happy because Aman Hambleton has already won his game. Is that so? Where is Aman?
The Canadian Mafia. They're all here. Hambleton, Eric Hansen.
Yeah.
And
Aman, he made his second GM norm here.
He did.
A couple of years ago, which was a big event.
He beat Shirov.
He did indeed, yeah. This was a big thing because he had the beard at the time, famously.
Ah, yeah. The famous beard.
Yeah.
The second famous beard in the world after James Harden in the NBA. No.
Okay, so let's go to Niels.
So Niels has the black pieces.
Yeah.
And he's playing Jan Henk Visser from probably the Netherlands.
Definitely the Netherlands.
And yeah, Niels is playing e6. I think he's been playing Tamanov a lot.
By the
way,
he
plays e6. Okay.
We should try, just as a reminder to myself, we should try and get Eric Hansen to join us one of these days. And Anna, both of them. Before.
How long is he going to be here, you said?
I think like until Friday. Until Friday they're here.
We'll definitely get them into the broadcast.
Yeah. So as you can see, the names are now just below me here. on the live board, so you can see whose games we're looking at.
So yeah, so Niels with black, coming off an excellent tournament. And where did they play the tournament? I can't remember. It was the European Championship.
Yes. Well, he was a silver medalist.
Yeah, I just don't remember where they played
in Macedonia, Skopje.
Macedonia, of course. So he came second.
It was very unfortunate for him that the World Team Championship didn't go so well for him. Otherwise, he would be a 2700 player now.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, let's catch up with the moves. He plays bishop a7. Sometimes black is also playing bishop to e7 here, sort of tricking the knight to go to a lesser square in a way, out of the center, so it's less influential. But he played bishop a7, and the problem with that move is, well, problem or not problem, but you know, black has to deal with the pressure on g7. Now your bishop is on the other wing.
By the way, can we send one shout out? We are being watched. We talked about him earlier by Grandmaster David Howell. So
oh, really?
Hello, David. And David has promised to play in Reykjavik next year. He's never played the Reykjavik Open.
He's never played?
Never. He wanted to play this year, but he has a wedding coming up.
Okay.
But next year he will be here.
Well, it feels like he's been here, but...
He was here for the European Team Championship in 2015. Yeah.
Of course.
And Greenie in the chat would like to see Pragnananda and Gukash's games next. We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll have a look,
the youngest
definitely.
2 GMs in the world, of course.
But okay, Niels deals with the problem with the g7 pawn tactically, with knight to f6, and the queen goes back to g3. Seems to me if you take it, then rook g8, and you can take on f2 probably, is the problem. Now queen h6, and knight g4, bishop takes f2, probably a take, and yeah, your queen is on oops, I hope I didn't mess the board up too much there. Just put it back. Yeah, and the knight g4 check.
Can't we just maximize? Will that not do the trick?
Yeah. Are we okay? I think
we're okay.
Yeah. I'll just maximize it. Okay. So yeah, the queen pulls back, queen to g3, d6. Still the same problem if you take on g7, so white can't take. Knight c3, knight c6, bishop to g5, and h6 now. And of course, black is quite happy if you take on f6, he will get the bishop pair. He pulls back to d2 and knight to e5. Bishop e2, doesn't want to give the bishop pair. But now it seems like Niels is getting a nice Sicilian position. Again, we can't take on g7 because now we have 2 knights, even though there's a defender on g4. Now we have 2 knights that can go to g4. So the same tactic is working. So white castles, but now b4. Okay. If the knight moves, then of course knight takes e4 is problematic. But white had other ideas, bishop to f4. And now if we take here, he's going to take on e5, utilize the pin.
And white is fine here, I guess.
Yes, I would guess. Especially since Niels didn't take, so knight e to d7 and e5, very aggressive by Henk-Jan. Do we have any more moves?
Yeah, we have a couple of moves. So Niels took the pawn off the board.
With a pawn?
Yeah. And bishop takes, and b takes c3. So what's happening here? So white's given up.
He's given up
a piece. And bishop f3 play.
Yeah, I was thinking bishop f3 because it's hard to defend the rook. You would have to do it with knight d5, but then I can take on, maybe take on g7. Well, I'm not sure knight d5 can't be played. Because, okay, let's say I play here. I think I can, there's maybe queen g5 check in some lines. No, it's not.
So let's have a look. Queen takes. And you're saying queen g5 can't be played because the rook is hanging on h8?
I'll just take it and then bishop takes on h8. So probably rook like f8, but then seems to me I can take on d5 and play rook e1. That looks very, very unpleasant.
Well, we just had another move. Niels actually played...
I'm guessing he did not play knight d5.
He played knight h5.
Yeah, this looks horrible. Knight h5, okay.
And there's another question. What about rook takes d5 from too weak to slow at which point?
Yeah, that's also a move.
Yeah.
And then the line we just looked at. Knight d5, queen takes, rook f8, rook takes d5. Oops. But then maybe, do we have queen g5 there? We might, because if you take on e8, I can take on e5. And black is up a piece. And you don't have any pins because the g pawn is stopping f4.
This looks fine.
Complicated lines, but I think bishop takes d5 is enough. But Niels didn't allow this. He played knight h5, and is that the?
That is the position on the board. So knight h5 has just been played. White is down to 7 minutes, though. 7 minutes for 23 moves.
This is a very nice tactical motive. It seems, because if you take, the knight is hanging. But I'm guessing he will play queen g5 check. And once you take, well, I do have bishop back to f3 though. So what do you do there? My idea was that two pieces are hanging, this one and this one, but I can
So your idea is bishop f3 attacking the rook.
Yeah.
On a8. Actually, Juno in the chat is saying Niels blew the advantage. So maybe knight h5 once again. We're not using engines here, but I wonder if he could have missed the rook hanging on a8. It's a very bizarre mistake to make.
But it seems, he would have to sack the exchange here, like take here. What's the pawn count? Well, he will get some compensation. We can maybe take on b2. We do have some nice squares, but
probably not as good.
Maybe just take on f2 and play f6 or something. I think should be full compensation for black. The knight is very strong here on e5. The king can come to e7.
But black was probably close to winning, so compensation is not something he'll be very
probably
happy
not
with.
What he was after.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting. But once again, as also pointed out by Jurno, 7 minutes for 23 moves is going to be a tricky task. Yeah. So let's come back to this one in a little bit. Let's go, as requested by Greenie, let's go to board. Which board are they on? Let's see. Let's first...
we're going off the top 4, so we...
Let's first go to board 21. In fact, they are playing next to each other, so Pragnananda and Gukesh.
Okay, we'll just leave the live board that we'll leave is Niels' game. We'll keep an eye on that, so we'll just have the analysis board.
Do you want to do that? Yeah?
Yeah, go to board 21.
You're the boss. So we're going to the game between Pragnananda and Nino Maizuradze.
I have to pull it up. I'm the manager, you're the officer. So.
Yes. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it all the way from there. It says here media manager, and I'm the media officer, so I believe.
So let's have a vote. Which is higher, officer or manager? I would like to be officer. It sounds like, officer, come over here. Because I want to talk to the manager. Get the manager.
I never saw it. Sorry, I was just getting sidetracked by Twitch because apparently there was a Stay Hydrated bot which is informing me that we've been live for over 1 hour.
Stay Hydrated bot.
At this point in the broadcast, we should have consumed at least 120 milliliter. Thankfully, we have lovely Icelandic water here.
Yeah, this is one of the sponsors.
One of the sponsors, the Icelandic Glacial.
They don't have a logo? No, but this is a sponsor, so we have to plug them. So it's
very good water as well, and I love the design of the bottle.
Yeah, the Icelandic water, of course, is very, very pure and very good. Okay, but let's move on to the game.
Also, thank you very much for the soft gift sub.
Oh, very nice.
From Bozo the Clown to Omi Malik.
Okay, so the live board that you see below, this is from the game by Grandelius. Yeah. We only have 4 boards at the moment, I believe. So we're working our way towards more for the future rounds.
I need to give you the moves?
No, I have the moves. So Pragnananda had white, He opened with g3, which is sort of the Nakamura opening
Yes.
in bullet.
Also, Nino Maizurradze is terribly...
What happened to her rating?
I was just going to say terribly underrated.
Yeah.
She's a woman GM. She used to be a 23 plus player.
Like 2350 at least. She's played here a number of times.
They've had a kid. She's here with her boyfriend Alexander Fier, and I guess these things. And she maybe plays. She plays a lot. And I guess she doesn't have so much time to work on her chess. I saw actually the other day that she posted that her kid is working on her chess more than she is. So yeah, I think the combination of not doing any work on chess and playing all the time is very tiring, and it can reflect. Hello to Manas, by the way, who's watching us all the way from California. He works for Twitch, so welcome Manas.
It's a long way away.
Yeah.
But okay, so basically white is playing a perch with colors reversed in a way. Or a King's Indian, depending on what black does, but a very solid setup for white nonetheless. I mean, you have the extra tempo, so you're not really in much trouble. So it's like a perch.
Interesting to see if in coming rounds, if he will stick to such slightly offbeat systems, or if he's gonna be playing main lines. We'll find out.
Let's see. So bishop to g4, c4, striking in the center, queen to d7. a3, seems like he wants to expand on the queen side. Nino doesn't want to allow it. And yeah, now the position resembles the English opening a bit more. So rook to e1, anticipating bishop h3 when he probably wants to play bishop to h1. Very classical way to meet this idea. But a4 now by black, b3, queen takes b3, bishop to e6. We don't have more moves? Are they both in time trouble? Or?
Let me see. It's just since there are many Aman fans in the chat. No, this is the position on the board, which is
knight b6. What's the time situation?
Could the time be stuck? No, the time is correct. So 20 minutes for white and 6 minutes for black. So we're gonna get a big time scramble here.
And knight takes b. This looks weird though that they spent so much time.
Yeah.
Okay, but we do have some complications after knight to b6 because, well, the knight is pinned, but I think he took on b6. Am I right?
You
think I saw. Oh, okay, and we have some action. Action Jackson.
Correct.
So he takes on b6. So let's keep the count. He's up on piece, loses a queen, wins the piece back. Wins the queen back, so he's up.
Take the piece back.
And she took the piece back. King takes. Okay.
So we now have 3 pieces each. Pawns are equal as well.
So does he have some continuation in mind here?
Is there any rook b1?
Rook b1 might be a move here. 1 b7 will hang.
Maybe bishop b2, potentially another move, but rook b1.
Yeah, looks like. I mean, this is the first move you would look at.
Yeah.
I guess bishop d5. But maybe this is not a huge problem because, well, bishop d5 might be shaky. I might have some knight takes e5s, and this is shaky. So maybe we have to go back to e6. So and we can at least take on a3. So black isn't really losing any material here, it seems.
The problem is I'm slightly concerned about this knight and the bishop on g2 is a beast.
Looks a bit dodgy because we have like this strong bishop.
I mean, even if I take on a3 and play rook c1.
Yeah, because you have this isolated pawn now and everything else is...
And I guess after bishop d5 I can maybe take on e5.
I think we can.
Because and after knight takes, bishop takes d5, this looks very good for white.
We can even take on c7 first.
Yeah, that's true.
No, we can't actually.
No.
Because king protects the pawn, yeah. So we just take and c7 is hanging. We're threatening d4, taking on f7. So white is winning some material there. So rook b1 looks quite tempting. Wondering what Has this been played? No.
Right,
it's been played.
Yeah, it has been played.
Okay.
So rook
Bishop
takes
E6.
b7 is on the board.
And rook takes b7.
And yeah, I believe, unless we've missed something, this will be a very tough defensive task for black. Which game are we analyzing, Light Rider? We are analyzing the game between Pragnananda and Nino Maizuradze. And the game you see below me, that is a game we're keeping an eye on. There's been some action, so we might go back there in a second. That's the game from board 2 between Henk-Jan Visser and Niels Grandelius. So yeah, I believe Pragnananda is in good shape, still some work to be done. Before we go back to Niels, shall we go to board 22?
Is that Gukesh?
That is Gukesh.
Okay.
Gukesh, for those of you who haven't followed it, he has recently become the second youngest grandmaster in history.
In history, behind Sergei Karyakin.
Absolutely, and he's also currently
good
the
trivia.
youngest.
I might put it in the quiz.
In
So
the
you
quiz.
get your reward for watching the show. One free question.
Gaykos is asking, who's my favorite player in this tournament? Personally, maybe we should make a prediction who we think. What Simon and I used to do is who
will win the tournament?
Who we think will win
And who we want to win.
win.
Okay. Should I start?
You start.
I think it's time for Niels Grandelius to win the tournament.
No, that was gonna be my pick.
I know.
You did it on purpose. What happened to ladies first?
You should have.
I should have pounds.
Do you want to use your officer credentials and go first?
Yes. What am I, media officer? I believe actually I want Niels to win the tournament. Mm-hmm. He's never won here. He's played many times.
Yeah.
I remember when I came to Reykjavik Open the first time back in 2008, Niels had his long dreadlocks and he's played almost every year since. He's never won it. Post-game interviews happening too. Yes, absolutely. As soon, maybe not on the first day because there is many things that we are fixing as we go along, but in the following days we'll definitely have interviews. Maybe even today if Niels... let's see how it goes, but there will be interviews. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Niels to win the tournament.
Niels to win?
Yes, and I want him.
Same as me?
No, you pick someone else.
Oh, okay, so you're using your... okay, then I'll take Ali Reza.
Okay.
And I want Hjörvar to win.
Hjörvar to win. Hjörvar, I think, who just told me he just decided very recently to play in the tournament.
Yeah, he did.
Postponed his master thesis, I believe.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's not very likely to win because he has to take some buys. So
to watch Menu tomorrow.
So maybe I should pick somebody else that I want to win. Let's see.
Well, you can still want him to win, even if he's not going to win it.
Yeah, that's the idea, I guess. So okay, so we got Alireza against Niels.
Yes, actually, also I should say that I want Alex to win. He's probably not going to be impressed, but I'll pick Niels to win the tournament, and Ingvar will pick Alireza. Partisan in the chat thinks Arian Tari might win with a chance. I mean, I think it's going to be a very interesting event. We have a lot of young players.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at the list here. I have the pairings in front of me. There, the established grandmasters, but also young players like Jordan van Forees, Johan Sebastian Christiansen, who's been making a lot of progress recently. Then, of course, the Icelandic veterans like Hannes Stefansson and people like Prab, people like Gukesh. They all stand a chance,
Hannes won his last tournament in Prague, so I mean, I think it's the most even field we had. There's no Giri, there's no Rapport. There's no clear favorite really. I mean, Gavin has the highest rating, but they're really close, at the top. So
also for those of you who spend quite a bit of time on Twitch, one name that's definitely worth mentioning besides Aman Hambleton and Alexandra Botas is Andrew Tang from the USA.
Oh, he's playing?
He's playing,
yes. I forgot.
Who you will know as a Penguin GM, of course. And so it will be interesting.
We might have a look at his game even if we have it.
Yeah, let's have a look at Gukesh first. Maybe should we just go to the current position because because
it's a long game. So let's just see how he's doing. He's playing Hector Giacomini which looks like the French flag, but the name sounds Italian, at least the last name. Yeah, Giacomini. Yeah.
Probably of Italian descent.
Yeah. So this looks like it was sort of a reversed, what do you call it, King's Indian attack?
Lucy is saying that Tang is playing, but because he's playing, he's at the moment losing his bullet shield on leeches, which I'm sure he'll be devastated about.
So he must be trying to win.
Claim it back someday.
But he might still finish, and is the tournament on now? Or?
I don't know.
Because like he only needs half the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Compared to the others. So I want to go like really fast because we had exactly a position like this. So it's sort of.
So let's just wait for the board to catch up. I think the board is still.
Yeah, this is more like a King's Indian attack.
No, but
type of position.
This board we need to update.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go to the current position. Usually in these lines, white is attacking on the queen side as he's doing, and black is trying to break through on the queen side. So very, logical and concrete play. And I have the last move as knight to h2.
And after knight h2, black took on h2.
Okay, king takes.
King takes, and bishop h6 is the position on the board.
That's the current position. Okay, my battery is running low.
Good
so
preparation.
We're not hiding anything here.
And let me see if we are receiving the moves. I think. Can someone confirm with me that the board has? Yeah, okay, perfect. So for those of you wondering, no, that is not the game of Andrew Tang.
No, this is
the
Gukesh.
game we're looking at between Giacomini and Gukesh. And after that, Ingvar's laptop is now charging, so we're back in business. So we'll go to Andrew Tang's game after this Gukesh one.
Yeah, so bishop h6 was the last move. Just trying to figure out the position. Okay, white is trying to attack on the queen side, but I feel like I would rather be black.
Yeah.
Because we're attacking the king.
I would like to remove my king.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like in 3 moves, like I really like black,
Yeah.
And even though you take on c7 or something,
just give it all up.
You have to
take it.
You have to take it and turn right,
Yes.
And if you're.
This looks quite dangerous.
And there are even some, there might even be some cool mates here. Let's say like king h7. No, it's white to move actually. So let's.
What are we gonna try for white?
How does white even increase the pressure? Okay, let's just make a blank move like bishop here or something. And I want to play. Okay, let's just start with this. I'm not sure what white's plan is. Maybe a6 was more logical. Let's go back and play like this. Takes. No, it's not logical. we just play rook a8. Okay, let's try this. Okay, some pressure. This might actually be a good idea, but okay, let's try this.
King h8.
Are we okay with this? Okay, this could actually be a problem. So a6 might be a move. Maybe black should go b6 there. But my just to show my idea was to play eventually king h7 or king h8. Let's say white does nothing, and we have this threat. Yeah, actually we need the king somewhere else. I was thinking about lines where we can go queen g3, which probably doesn't work just yet. It might though. Like takes.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
King h. I won't go there.
Yeah,
I'll
you won't go there.
h1.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you an extra tempo.
That's probably a reasonable decision. But okay, I can take.
You're still 2 tempi away, yeah?
I am.
What if I start with bishop d2?
Okay, I can play. Yeah, then you can just sack at some point. But wait a minute, maybe not.
I don't.
Okay, let's say bishop where? Bishop where?
I don't know. Do I even need to move the bishop?
Maybe you can play bishop e2 or something.
Can I play queen
e2? Yeah. You're stopping my evil. Well, okay, I'll start with this.
Okay, but in the worst case I can take, yeah?
Yes, but then I still have rook h8 coming
Okay,
up.
but what if you, can you go back one move? What if you go king g7?
That might even be a better move. Rook h8 is coming. Yeah, but anyway, this is like a sort of like an idea that can be present in some positions. So I was just trying to fantasize something cool here for black, but a lot of fantasy. But
I think there was a typo in the chat. Omid Malek is saying white is still Gucci here. I wonder what he means.
Still Gucci.
He's still Gucci.
Giacomini.
Yeah, it's an interesting line, this one we just looked at.
Yeah, because like there's even if you want to sack on f2, I can play e3, and you take on f2, and e takes f2, and still you have problems on the h file. At least an interesting idea. I'm not sure.
Someone should gift you a sub to my channel so you can use my emote.
Yes,
absolutely. Someone, 1 out of you 600. But yeah, this is an interesting position here. The time situation, by the way, is 20 minutes for white, 12 minutes for black. I'm so still.
But yeah, a6 might be an interesting move for white now that we just looked at.
I think white has to do something active.
Yeah, because I was trying to find a way to do something, and maybe just this, not take the pawn immediately, and we want to break through here. This seems to make a lot of sense, actually.
I've just learned something new. Gucci is slang for good.
It might be, I don't know.
Well, this is what I've just been informed of.
Okay.
Gucci.
Now we know that.
What is Gucci?
What is Gucci?
We're not cool enough, apparently. Anyway, should we go back to Niels's game?
Yes.
Because that was looking very interesting. So we're going to go back to board 2. After that, as promised, we'll go to Andrew Tang's game. Because we've had quite a few moves in the Niels game. So let's...
Yeah, so we left it after knight h5, which hangs the knight. On purpose, though.
Yeah.
And did he take it, or? I think he did, and played queen g5.
He took it, yes. And queen g5 was indeed played.
But he didn't take on g5, he played
bishop f4.
Bishop f4. The line we looked at was queen takes, pawn takes. When white probably has to play bishop f3, he wins the rook, but it seems like black gets a lot of compensation. And I think I would actually prefer black here. So he plays bishop f4 instead. And what happened after that?
Bishop f4, and now black takes on b2. King b1, which makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to leave your king out in the open.
He wants to use the pawn as shelter, human shield.
Queen takes g3.
Okay,
and bishop takes g3.
Bishop takes g3, protecting f2, of course.
And this is the position on the board, but I feel like, I've also looked just at the engine evaluation because I can't help it. But it feels like something has gone seriously wrong here for Niels, because now the material balance is what?
Yeah, it's technically equal. I mean, we can take on b2 when and if we want, and then we have equal material.
And suddenly the black pieces don't look that great.
No, but still black has a very nice and solid pawn structure, and maybe he can, utilize some weak squares on the queen side. Maybe he will just castle now and play knight b6, put it on c4 or a4. But still, we have to deal with bishop to f3. And we can't do it with bishop b7. Maybe we can, but it looks like white can take.
Yeah.
And of course.
This is impossible.
We would have to play king e7 or something.
Yeah. No, so this is not really an option.
So how do we deal with this simple threat of playing bishop to f3?
In the chat, Malik thinks that black can untangle against his opponent, especially with time pressure. The thing is, it's not so easy to find a move. As we saw, bishop b7 isn't possible.
Maybe just bishop b6. It's clumsy, but okay, you can put the rook on a7. And importantly, white doesn't have bishop b8 to trap the rook.
Because the knight is defending b8.
The knight.
But still, I would take white any time here.
Yeah. Yeah, the pieces are a bit clumsy.
And
I
as
agree,
I Am Nobody really is saying, it's not so solid. He's saying he's making a good point for white. Rook d6 and rook ht1 will be coming. I'm not sure if the rook d6, if we then have bishop, but white will double somewhere on the d file at least.
Okay, let's promote this one. Yeah, we also have bishop c6 ideas. Yeah, this is maybe not so easy. So it's Niels to move here after bishop takes g3. Am I right?
He's actually he's played bishop b6, the move that you just pointed out, and
looks like the only move.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And then he played bishop.
And then white played
d6.
bishop d6.
I think yeah.
But I think the move actually, and maybe he saw the engine recommendation, apparently rook d6 was the best move here. I'm not sure why. Because we're threatening rook e6. So we can't
we don't have time for bishop c7 because rook to e6 utilizing the pin.
Okay, so here,
could be an idea, but
rook d1 is coming, and this the problem is white is very low on time. White is playing on increment. He's down to 1 minute, and he still has 19 moves to play, or 18 now after bishop d6.
Okay, but let's say I play king e7, we double the rooks. Now maybe I can play bishop c7. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, rook d6 looks strong. I mean, probably white is doing quite well here.
Yeah.
But he played bishop d6, and his idea is also logical. He wants to keep
the king in the center.
The king in the center.
Maybe also now his rook could potentially come to e1.
Yes.
Once again, threatening e6.
Precisely. And we can't take on f2 because just rook f1, and this is a problem on f7.
I mean, I still like white here, I have to say. I'm not sure how much it is, but if I had to pick, at least, I would always pick white. Okay, where do we go next? Let's go to Andrew Tang. Board.
Yeah, people.
Where is Andrew?
Asking about that. So let's just keep board 3
board
as
2.
the live board, and
board 2 as the live board. And
board 2. Sorry, yeah.
And we'll go to board 27, where Andrew Tang is white against someone. You can maybe tell us a bit.
Stefan Priem. He's a young player, Icelandic player, who recently became Nordic champion in his age group.
And who apparently is doing very well against Andrew. Let's go to the current position.
Yes, I'm gonna pull it up here. Yeah. So we have to flash this for a split second, and you want to go to the current position?
Yeah, I think so, because the players are down to roughly 10 minutes each. 8 minutes for Andrew Tang, 12 minutes for Stefan Priem.
Yeah, and he's been improving a lot lately. Yeah. You know Vignir Vatnar Stefansson?
I saw he started streaming as well.
Yeah, he started streaming. He joined him for for a while. They're of similar age, go to the same school, and Vignir has always been, higher rated. But he managed to beat him when he won the Nordic Championship. So I mean, he's moving closer, and he's one of my students. I teach him once a week.
Okay.
And so I played him a number of times, and I can feel the strength coming, and he's
And just looking at the chat, Shukhnu is saying that Andrew is close to being toast. So let's have a look.
Okay, so we have sort of like a similar pattern to what we had in the Alireza game, with some potential moves like Queen h3, and where we would love to put the rook somewhere where we can put on the h file. But okay, at the moment it's not apparent how we do that, but white always has to be careful about sacks on h2 after queen to h3. So let's just have a look. I mean, okay, the first move you look at here is queen to h3. You could take on h6. It's very materialistic. It might be possible, but okay, let's see this one, because white has to play rook g1, which is a bit passive.
And then can you bring the knight to g4 somehow? So after
knight f6, maybe knight f6, because
I guess you have to take
because if bishop takes.
Oh no, wait, is f3 hanging?
Yeah, f3 hangs. Yeah, that's true. But still, we might even sack that.
Can you do no?
Knight here. and we would have to take it, and the bishop comes in. And this just looks bad, doesn't it?
No.
We're just starting here. What do you do?
What to do?
What to do? What to see? No. So maybe does this straightforward plan just work? Queen h3. We have to play.
And Spinal Tap Chess in the chat, who's played here himself. I'm just struggling for a name at the moment. I think I'm getting too old. I'm struggling with names, especially with Twitch. It's difficult to put the names on the username. But I know that I
Spinal
know
Tap
you.
He's an IM.
Yes, he's an IM, and he's played here. And he's saying that he agrees that knight f6 looks winning.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you take, which we didn't look at, then simply rook takes. And now we see this idea that was the idea that I was trying to talk about. We don't really have a move for white. Okay, maybe queen d2 is the move. But okay, if we make a blank move, let's say queen here, attacking the rook, then we can simply give this mate here.
Yeah, very nice.
Same pattern as in the Alireza game. And the line that we looked at, bishop takes f3, knight g4. We don't have time for rook g2, because we just take on f3. So a quick look at that.
It was Isle of Man, yeah. I was wondering, as I said it, I confused Isle of Man. It's Isle of Man, Spinal Tap, he didn't play here.
Okay.
Just FYI. But you should come.
Okay, so yeah, rook g2 just hangs the bishop for nothing. Bishop takes f3, knight g4, you have to take it.
So he did play queen h1 and rook g1 are on the board.
Okay, so we just keep an eye on this one.
So if he finds knight f6, which looks like it's crushing, this could be one of the big upsets of round one. Maybe we could even see if he would like to join us in the commentary.
Yeah, definitely.
And Jurno is saying Tang has to push g4 and give up the pawn and rook.
Oh, okay.
So let's have a look at that.
So after knight f6, you have to play g4. Ouch, town.
So how do we take?
I guess we take with a knight. You have to take with a rook. Bishop takes. Now we have to defend the mate again. Rook g1.
So black is now in exchange up, and he still has the attack. Can we play? No.
Yeah, we have. Only thing we have to be careful about is opening the g-file. Yeah. But can we?
I would like to now bring my bishop to g2, maybe.
Yeah.
Can I move the queen? Do I have a good square?
Do I maybe have just time for rook e5?
And if I take it?
I just want to play rook f6 next. What can you do? Well, I can play rook g3 though.
Okay,
no,
but
rook g3.
Can I play queen b2 or something, hitting e5?
I'm not. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not mating on h2. I mean, even if you don't take. Yeah. Okay. It's a bit too drastic.
And we have a question from Manas. He's asking, after knight f6, bishop takes f3. So that's the line we were looking at earlier, I think.
Yes. Question about that?
Yeah. Knight g4. Bishop takes g4. And then what did we say?
Bishop takes g4.
Bishop takes g4, and then he's wondering if f4 is maybe a possibility.
No, we have bishop f3. Also, rook e2 looks.
Rook e2 looks more, because after bishop f3, the idea is rook g2. I guess.
Yeah.
But rook e2 looks killing.
Yeah, seems to immediately win.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like g4 is the only move.
Yeah. So let's look at that. So g4.
Gonna promote this one.
And
we take it, of course. Anything else? I don't really.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah. And white has to take.
Oh, and this line has been played. G4 is on the board.
Okay. So this is exciting stuff. We might have a big upset by
one of your students.
Yeah. Rook to e5. No. Okay. We were looking at too drastic, perhaps.
So yeah, after g4, black is thinking.
Yeah. So this will probably happen, and rook g1 must be played. So now we need to find if there's a good continuation for black here. My gut feeling would be to just play something like rook e7.
What if I try and start exchanging some pieces? What about bishop f5?
Yeah, I want to do that, but we have to protect g7 first.
Why? G5. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't see
so that's why I want
there.
to play this, because we have these very sneaky guys.
Yeah, for those of you asking, the game we're looking at now is Andrew Tang with the white pieces against Stefan Bream. We'll make sure we can add the names for tomorrow. And the clock times are 9 minutes for Andrew Tang and 6 minutes for Stefan Bream, with 12 moves to go until the time control.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. Rook e7 because we just want to trade some pieces, but maybe I can play rook g3 now. Although I can always just give a check and perhaps, well,
no, but
okay, white doesn't want to draw, but
no, black doesn't want to draw.
I know he shouldn't want, but white can't do anything else. So
okay, but let's see after rook g3. I'll go elsewhere.
I'll go elsewhere, of course. Rook g3, let's see, queen h. Well.
What about
Queen h5 looks logical. Queen h5 logical.
Okay, so Crafty Raf wants white to play an idea along the lines of queen b1, rook g3, and queen g1 for white to double on the g-file.
I think rook e7 is actually essential because if you do...
Keep an eye on that g7 pawn.
Yeah, because if you do like... well, I'm trying to find a bad move. Because otherwise white might play rook g3 and h3. It might be a threat for white now. If rook g3 and the queen goes back, h3 and g7 hangs. Yeah. But it's hard to make a move that hangs that for black. Yeah, okay, a move like h5, then maybe rook g3, and you can't go here because h3, I think.
So rook g1 is now on the board. Yeah. This has all happened. g4, knight takes g4, rook takes, bishop takes, and rook g1. So now it's up to black to find a plan here of how to proceed. Do you feel a bit nervous?
Yeah, I mean,
coach. How old is he? Did you say he's a very young player?
Like 14 or 15. I can't remember. I'm bad with ages.
But yeah, and of course a big talent. Maybe what we can do is while we wait for results here, while we wait for moves here, we can give you some results of the first round. Oh, Gawain Jones has won his game on board 1. We'll have a look at that after the time control, I believe. So he's won his game against Degelman. Ali Reza Firuja, we saw that crushed his opponent today. Also on board 5, Sergei Movsesyan, another regular guest here at the Reykjavik Open, beat Daniel Abbas from England. So far, I think all the favorites have pulled through. Hovhannisyan has beaten Birgisson.
Yeah, and Ariantari beat Leon Piasecki.
Yeah.
Leon has played many times.
Many times, yeah. Tigran Petrosyan from Armenia beating French opponent Jordan Van Verwees has beaten Lenka Petlikova.
Tigran Petrosyan, the former world champion.
You joker. So yeah, Hjorvar, your pick who you want to win the tournament.
Yes.
He's won his game as well. And Hannes Stefansson won his game too.
He's in good form.
Aman, of course, for all you Chessbra fans out there, Aman has won his round 1 game. And
any upsets?
I don't know. Tanya Sachdev, a big name.
Her opponent actually is quite strong.
Okay.
He's underrated.
Dago Ragnarsson has won his game. Yeah, so far
I don't see an upset. But
and we're here a little one. Gudny Petersson.
Well done, Gudny, the GSP machine. But he's like he's coming into the tournament very confident. He beat Jon Viktor in a recent rapid game. So I mean, he's a very solid player. Great result for him, and the first upset of the tournament, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll keep an eye on that. For now,
we have a move by
rook e7. He did play.
I'm a good teacher. All right, it just looks like an essential move. Queen c1.
And queen c1, yes.
So he wants to play, maybe queen g5 or rook g3 and queen g1. So it's not easy. I mean, it is an exchange. Do we have time for bishop f5 now? Probably not. Or nah. I'm wondering if white will have this then, and we could have an infamous. Well, we're not going to take this, but you have to demonstrate that. Okay, white can take on e7, but he can also take on g7 for a windmill. Everyone likes a good windmill, don't they? And then we can start, you know, chopping off stuff on a7, and then we come back, and then we pick up the queen. Well, it's actually made, so maybe I didn't have to take the pawns, but I like to take pawns. Looks better, you know.
I always like to take pawns, yeah.
No, but yeah, the mate should be the priority. Yeah. So yeah, bishop f5 is probably not a good move in any case.
Down to 3 minutes. How do you think he's going to withstand time pressure?
It's going to be some...
For 10 moves.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Can we play h6? Is that... Do we then run into like rook g3 stuff?
The problem is I would be worried about taking squares away from my queen.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean here...
And where do I go actually?
I mean if... either way I'm probably going to play queen g1,
yes,
I guess.
Yes.
And it's already...
Okay, but maybe I can survive. I mean,
yeah,
okay.
But then what point? Why
there's
did you play
h3, but
h6?
yeah, that's true. That's true. But then, okay, the king is here, so you're not winning the piece just yet. But I played h6 because just to prevent queen g5. And then I changed the plan after you go for the g file. Then I have to block the stuff. But this is actually not so easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good and it is objectively winning, but to find a continuation, especially, okay, he has gone queen h5.
Okay, it makes sense as well. You want to prevent queen to g5.
And rook g3 is on the board. Andrew Tang is now playing his moves quite quickly to at least, I think he understands objectively he is losing, so he's going to try at least putting pressure on the clock on his young opponent.
Can I play bishop h3? Am I blundering something?
Let's see.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I just want to play bishop g2, check. And then I must be doing quite well.
Yeah, and Spinal Tap agrees. He also would like to see bishop h3 played.
Don't see any... Like you. Okay, let's say like queen c3 or something. But maybe it's... I don't know. Now I would have to defend, maybe here. It's a strange position.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I'm defending this, but what's the bishop doing? Maybe this isn't too bad either.
I mean, I guess one of the things I would really like to do is push Harry the h-pawn.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, where can I put this damn queen?
Yes. It would take you some moves. You'd have to put it
maybe
maybe
on... if I put it on e5? Is it so terrible? I mean, it's white to move now.
Oh, yeah.
If white
maybe even here.
Yeah, maybe.
Can we do that? Probably we can.
But here the problem is you can move your queen and then move it back to c3 and I'll have to repeat.
Yeah, but
right?
at least the queen is now here. And now you can play like rook f7 maybe?
Maybe even rook f6, or is that too much? Maybe it's too much.
Yeah. Probably rook f7 and then we want to push Harry. Harry! No, but it's still, it's a little bit unclear because like bishop g6 comes in, I don't know.
We have a young fan in the room. I remember him from last year. Do I remember his name? Do you know his name?
I can't remember.
Yes, I knew his name.
He's Icelandic.
Tell us your name.
And Russian.
Kira.
What?
Kirill.
Kirill, yes.
Kirill,
I saw him earlier. He's half Icelandic, half Russian.
I'm a Russian, but I'm living in Iceland.
Exactly. Russian living in Iceland. I saw him take a Are you playing this year? I remember last year Kirill would often come and watch Simon and me in the commentary. And you're playing this year. Yeah. How did you do today?
Lost.
Oh. Tomorrow, better luck. So Kirill, he is on my vlog from last year. If you're watching us, do check it out. And come and say hi on the camera. We'll have Kirill. He said hi last year, so we'll say hi this year. Give a warm welcome to Kirill here, who's now playing in the tournament. And I'm very glad that you're playing. And good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
And we'll hopefully see you back here with some better news.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So yeah, that was Kirill once again. Check out the vlogs from last year, and you'll see him there.
But okay.
But back to Andrew Tang. Andrew Tang. Oh, something.
What's happening?
Queen C3 has been played. No, the engine tricked me.
But this is basically what we had, right?
Yeah, so after Bishop H3, Andrew Tang played Queen C3.
So this happened, Bishop H3 and Queen C3. So this is the current position. I'm pretty sure he will play Bishop G2 now.
Okay, so Bishop G... Actually, isn't this what we were looking at?
It's just what we looked at. I mean, it's still, you know, a bit unfair.
I got a bit carried away.
Should we stay on this one, or...?
Yeah, I think let's stay on this one, because the time is ticking down. Actually, Stefan is down to 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Oof.
You don't want to make this a bullet game against Andrew Tang. No.
Not against Andrew, out of all the players in the world.
And we still have 7 moves to make.
And meanwhile, Omid Malak is informing us that Niels is untangling. We can see his board indeed down there. We'll go back to Niels' game as soon as
I think that will be around, you know, after the time trouble.
Yeah. So we'll go to Niels' game as soon as we are done with the time trouble here, because this is potentially a massive upset if Stefan can convert here. Once again, for those of you who have just tuned in, the player with the white pieces here is Andrew Tang. Most of you will probably know him better as Penguin GM, one of the quickest players around, massive streamer.
Okay, he played rook e5.
Okay, that's a move we didn't look at.
But should be okay.
Yeah. So the rook is aiming to come to G5, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. One thing you don't want to do is to play the rook back to e7 now.
Actually, rook e5, unless my engine is pulling tricks on me again. And I know I said we don't use engines, but I just saw it jump. I think rook e5 is a... Yeah, as Jurno is just saying, rook e5 was the best move, and Chelsea is saying -9 for Bream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that even allowed?
I don't know. And -9, that's a queen.
Yeah. Wow.
It looks like rook e5 was a very strong move here.
Yeah, so after queen to e1, presumably we will play rook to g5.
Apparently, mate is pretty much unavoidable.
And what can you do? I'm just trying to take on g3. And if you take with the h pawn, then bishop g2 mate. If you take with the f pawn, f2, f1. And if you take, then I just, you know.
You know what I will do?
You can't defend.
You know what I will... Oh, we've had a few moves, and it's
queen
checkmate.
Here, bishop g2.
Mate is coming. After rook e5, white play queen d2. You know what I will do, Ingvar? I will leave you here, and I will go and see if I can get Stefan to join us.
Okay.
Or to join you. I mean, you're his coach.
So this was played. Bishop g2, king g1, and queen takes.
And the game is over, so I'm going to rush out and go and see if I can
do you know how he looks like?
I know where Andrew is sitting.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be right back.
He has a very strong chin for a 15-year-old, so... Well, that's a massive upset. While we wait for Stefan, maybe we'll go back to Niels' game, where a lot of things have happened. That's on board 2. So we'll go back to that one. I should have it. Actually, I'm going to pull it back up. And we have to go all the way back to port 2. I was in port 27. Okay, a lot of things have happened. And let's pull it up. So we basically had this position here after rook a7. That's where we left things off. And now a lot of moves. c4, bishop c7, and we had a trade on d6. And the king comes to e7. So black is trying to untangle. Eventually he would love to have a knight on e5. I think that's actually what happened. Rook to c7, knight to a5, and knight to e5. So very well posted knight, preventing any checks here. And now we just want to take the pawn on c4. Our king will always be safe on f6 in case of knight c6 as well. Bishop e2, g5. And let's just actually go rather quickly and get the current position. And, well, okay, white is up a pawn, but we do have double pawns on the h-file. And okay, but Niels is probably winning the pawn on c4, and he has two connected pass pawns. I think actually these pawns will decide the game. So looks like Niels is going to pull through. Should we just get Stefan right in here, or do we need a break, or no?
I think let's get him in.
Ja. Stefan, komdu hérna drengur. Okay, so do we need to zet de mic in hebben? So you had the black pieces against Andrew Tang. Do you know him? Of course.
The yes. Bullet Master.
The Bullet Master, the Penguin GM. So you must have been nervous about the matchup?
Yeah.
So okay, you had the black pieces and the Nim shot. Did you expect?
Yeah, I had prepared this.
Yeah, but you didn't have a lot of time to prepare.
No, only 30 minutes, but he always plays that system.
With Queen c2?
Yeah.
Okay. And after Queen c2 you played d6, knight f3. Yeah, I don't play a lot of Nimso myself, but I know like Queen e7 and e5 is one plan. Is this something you looked at?
Yeah.
b6, bishop to g2, bishop b7. So when it was like, how far did you prepare?
Until the 16th move, when he played b4.
16th move?
Yeah.
Okay. So after castles, you now took.
Mm-hmm.
Queen e7, b3. So white gets the bishop pair, but black is in this line is very solid, and of course you control the e4 square very nicely. Castles, bishop d2, knight e4. So were there some games in this, or did you just?
Yeah, there were a couple of games. I like this plan with knight d4, f5, and then just attack on the king side.
Yeah, yeah. Sort of like, the Dutch, which you play, and
yeah.
Your friend Wignett, Simon Williams type of caveman attacks.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, this is like, a very solid system for black, and you sort of have a clear plan. You just want to attack on the king side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he played knight e1. He thought for 15 minutes here.
Yeah, knight e1 is the best move. I put it in the computer before the game.
Okay, e5. So up to, was this the first move that you didn't know? Yeah. Okay, so here you were kind of on your own.
Mm-hmm. But there's only
one move. Of course you have only one move. He protects the pawn. And bishop c8. Mm-hmm. I guess you're thinking the bishop is blocked on b7, so
Yeah,
you want to use it for the attack on the king side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you played knight d3, and okay, starting to bring the pieces to the attack. How are you feeling at this point?
Really confident.
Yeah?
I thought I was maybe better, little better.
Mm-hmm. You played knight to h5. You played knight h5, b5, e4, and he took on a6. Some complications, and now you're starting to attack pretty heavily with f4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, and this is where we started watching after f3 and queen d7.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think he had something better, like, let's say after like f4? You just want to play f3?
Yeah, I think bishop b4 is the best move.
Yeah, because you're just trying to play f3 and
Bishop h.
and then bishop h3, and he can't go to the e file, so yeah. Okay, and here and queen here. Now you're just running bishop h3 again.
Yeah, and take
And
on g3.
Yeah, and f2 will hang.
Yeah, if he moves the rook.
Yeah. And he can't go bishop g2, you just take and
Yeah,
he's too weak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like the game just went really, really smoothly for you.
Yeah.
So f3, yeah, and then we saw from here. Okay, queen d7. I mean, he has to. It's so funny. I mean, he can't put anything on f1. The queen is just completely out of the game. So he has to play this. We bring the queen. Yeah, we didn't see anything after this.
Yeah, but
I think this is the best move.
Yeah, I missed g4 though.
It's the only move.
Yeah, only move.
Everything else just completely loses.
Mm.
But I think this is just winning as well. And you took. Yeah, I mean, only move again. Rook g1, only move again. And here I thought, yeah, you just defend this and then do something. At this point, you were down to like, I think you had 6 minutes or something.
Yeah, I think so.
He played queen c1. I mean, did you see anything for him?
No, for him.
Yeah.
No, but I don't see what I'm going to do yet, so I played queen h5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just preventing queen g5.
Mm-hmm.
Was kind of the only idea you had.
Yeah.
Rook g3. But maybe you were getting a bit nervous, maybe?
Yeah.
Time trouble, and you're about to win. Have you beaten the grandmaster in classical?
No, not in classical.
So this was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So I played bishop h3 with the mating idea.
So you saw already the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Queen g3. Yeah, first I thought you know, defend and then find something. First I thought bishop g2 was like the logical move, but there's no rush. And I think your move is I think the chat said this was the best move. And then he fell for it, he played queen d2.
I was just hoping that he wouldn't see it.
Yeah, I also looked at queen e1, but you can still play the idea, right?
Yeah.
It's just the same idea, yeah.
But
in the game he played queen d2. You gave him a check, and he resigned after queen takes h2, right? Yeah. Because you give a check, and even though he gets the g3 square, you take it away immediately, and then a pretty mate on h1. So was he like when he took on? When did he realize? When did he see that you?
Just when I took on h2, he realized.
Like this. Excellent, very good. So congratulations on this excellent win, and yeah, best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. Á ég bara fram?
Já, herru, taka það mækinn bara. Já, góður. Pekka í fjónu og niður og frammi. Okay, so yeah, the first big, huge upset of the tournament. Andrew Tang, the Penguin GM, goes down against local Icelandic player Stefan Brím, rated 21-38. So his first win against the Grandmaster, and yeah, a very strong one. So we're very well done indeed. But we were starting to look at Niels's game, and okay, I had it up here, and I thought the pawns were going to, yeah, bring home the bacon for Niels. Let's see, we have some moves. Okay, we left it after 37, rook c5. We have knight b7, rook takes c4. Okay. Knight b7, rook takes c4, rook b6, and rook takes h4. Followed by knight c5 and bishop to b5.
So what's happened? Bring me up to speed.
Niels is handling his business and he is winning. Okay, he's up a pawn now. And
the central pawns look like they're going to
duo
be
here
very quick. I was just, if you're wondering why I wasn't ready, I was in the playing hall having a look around, and actually a lot of the boards have finished already. I think it's now the moment when the players make the time control.
Yeah.
And even of the live boards, like there's only a few. I ran back, that's why.
Okay. So maybe.
But yeah, of the top boards, very few are still on the way.
Maybe we can have a look at board number 4.
Let's go to board 4.
Erwin Lamy, former winner of this tournament, of course. We haven't looked at his game at all.
For those of you crushing Fatal Blows, asking what's the time control, so the time control is 90 minutes for 40 moves, and then 30 minutes plus an increment of 30 seconds from move 1.
So most of the games right now are reaching move 40 and finishing the time control. And this is sort of like a typical Lamy position.
Yeah. Erwin loves his endgames. Erwin, of course, another former champion here in Reykjavik. He was actually one of the few, I remember, he won it with a round to spare the tournament.
Yeah, he had an excellent tournament.
Yeah.
And
I think he even lost
he was like...
And we have him on camera. We have the cameras working. So you see Erwin there with the black pieces on board 4 against Oliver Beversdorf from Germany. And Erwin, he's a regular guest. He's here like every year with his wife Alina Lamy, who's also playing. You will see her magnificent photos, of course, I believe on ChessBase. And Kirill Iceland is now following me on Twitch. I wonder if that's Kirill.
I think so.
Kirill, who we just had in the studio. If you're watching us, Kirill, thank you for dropping by. And best of luck for tomorrow.
He grew a little bit from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So how do we assess this endgame Erwin is playing? Material is equal.
I think he's going to push forward eventually on the queen side. Looks like he should be able to play b5 at some point. And he controls the d-file. White's pieces are a bit passive, so should have some winning chances, I believe. Especially because he's very good in endgames. Like I said, he loves his endgame, so I would put my money on Erwin Lamy here, definitely. I just want to mention, when he won, he was like the 11th or 14th seed or something. Something crazy. It was a very strong tournament.
I think it was back when we still had 10 rounds here, and I think he scored something like 8 out of 9. Then he lost the last round to
8.5 out of 9 even.
Maybe, And he lost the last round to Elianov, I believe.
Yes.
But still won the tournament by himself. There's one game I would like to go to, and that is on board board 12. There is a young player with the white pieces. I'd never heard of him. He's called Kirk Gazarian, and he's playing against another former champion, Abhishek Gupta.
We'll just leave the camera on Erwin, because I think we have them in the background there, do we? I think they're in the right corner, or are they?
Yeah, but they're very far away.
Slightly out of it.
Yeah, I think we can...
We'll just leave it anyway, because we're going to look at the game on the
Do you
analysis
also
board.
want to leave the position of Erwin on the live board?
Why not come back to it? We actually have, which position do we have down there now?
Gawain, but an old one, I think.
Okay.
Because Gawain has won his game, by the way, the top seed. Gawain Jones won his game a little while ago. So on the live board, we'll try and put the game of Erwin Lamy.
Yes, board 4 on the live board.
Yes, if we can. And we'll go to board 12. Kirk Gazarian against Abhijit Gupta, because it looks like he's holding his own.
Yes. Another one of those young talents. Looks quite young.
Yeah, he looks very young. I mean, let me actually look up how, because I was surprised when I saw him when I first walked through the playing hall. I'd never seen him or heard of him. He's coming from the US, and let's see, he is born in 2006.
2006?
So he's either 12 or 13.
Okay. Wow.
Hello,
seems like
guy
we
in
have
a box.
a lot of young talents coming from the US.
A lot, yes. So this endgame, I mean, he's made it to the time control. They have just reached move 40 with Queen G6.
Yeah, the last move was Queen to G6.
So what does white do now? Does black has a threat of taking on H3?
So if white blunders, then of course we just take, and we can't take back. And if we do take, then it feels like black is slightly ahead in the race, and we can just start pushing.
Do I have
H3, or do I have queen? This is at least enough for a draw for black.
And Queen F3?
I just take it and play G5. And I think
this should be a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the only way for white to win would be to, get the king to help the pawns, but
the white pawns,
just looks
the black pawns are too advanced.
Yeah, too advanced for that. So this should draw rather easily, it seems. So I wonder what. Kirk is white.
So Kirk is white. So I don't know. Does he have to take here on G4? Maybe he has to take.
Getur við sett liveborðið nummer 4?
Þetta liveborðið.
Nei, þetta Gawain. This is Gawain.
Or at least it's not up.
Yeah, we have the camera on.
Because it says here Jones.
Já, með smá lag kannu við sjá mikið.
If you're wondering what we're doing, we're just trying to get the live board in the bottom left corner set to Erwin Lamy, who you can see there on camera. There we go. Thank you very much to our producers. So yeah, that is on the live board, Erwin Lamy, former champion. And then on our actual board next to the camera, another former champion, Abhijit Gupta. Who
I actually thought Gupta was black here. No, he was white, but he's black.
Yeah.
So he has.
I was wondering why you were pushing for
why
white.
is he? Okay, but never taken. So okay, that makes a bit more sense. So he has some chances, but again, I mean, so let's say white wants to go for a draw since he's low rated here. So maybe he can just go for this takes, king f2.
And it's very difficult for black to...
Queen f3.
Yeah.
And this is probably... Well, do I have... like Queen h4 check? Go Slovakia?
I think the problem is if black isn't careful. Oh no, I guess black can never lose.
No, he
can't.
I don't think either one can lose.
Yeah.
Like h2, king h1, and then the h2 pawn drops.
Oh, by the way, he has taken on g4 and king f2, so that's the position on the board.
So and if you start checking, whenever you're you take on b2. I just have perpetual right here, so this looks like an easy draw for Kirk Kazarian.
Yeah, and that will be another upset. I'm just looking at the result. There's one upset on board 26 where Daniel Abrahams from Canada, rated 2143, has beaten Marcel Kanarek, 2500 GM from
Daniel
Poland.
Abrahams, he has played here before, I think.
Yeah, he has indeed.
It's a
He was
familiar
here
name.
at least last year. So we have upsets on board, and they were actually playing next to Andrew Tang.
Okay, whoa.
So board 26 and
And
27, we've had
It's
some
a big upsets.
Yep. Pragnananda, meanwhile, has beaten Nino Maizoratze. We had looked at that game earlier. But at least on the live boards, those are the only two upsets for now.
Yeah.
And on the live boards, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, still quite a few. I was wrong. There's still 11 games going on the live board, so a lot of
Should we
action.
take like
A
short break?
Sure.
Because we just reached the time control.
Yep.
And then we come back to finish. You know, maybe 5-10 minutes, max
Sure,
10
let's
minutes.
be back in 10 minutes at most.
As most. We'll shoot for 5 to 7.
Perfect. We'll see you soon. And we're back, round 1 of the Reykjavik Open. We've been live here for a little while. My name is, you can't see us for the moment, but my name is Fiona Steele Anthony, and I'm here with FIDE Master Ingvar Thor Johannesson, aka Zibbit. And we've already had a couple of big upsets. One of them, if you've been with us, you saw him because he was in the studio with us, and that was on board 27. Yeah. Stefan Bream won a brilliant game against none other than Andrew Tang, aka Penguin GM.
Brilliant result, yes.
A student of Ingvar, so if you're looking for a coach, this is where it's at.
Look no further.
Exactly.
No, but he's very good. I only meet him like once a week.
Hopefully she gives us an update of Bota's game. I did have a look at Alexandra Bota's game during our break.
Yeah, she wasn't not on the live board. So.
She was not on the live board. She's in exchange down. She has a pawn for the exchange, but it will be difficult. Good. Yeah. Okay. We have Leonard, by the way, in the chat with us, and he's saying, seems like the constructions next to Harpa are finally making progress.
Yeah.
Leonard knows the venue well, of course. We miss Leonard here. Hopefully he'll be back. And yeah, now we'll go back to the chess games.
Yeah.
We'll go back to board 4, which you can see on the camera. We'll update the moves. Actually, I know, I'm looking at another.
Yeah, but a nice observation by Leonard, because next to Harpa there has been basically a ditch for for like 5-6 years, but finally they're building some hotel there or something.
Yeah. And in this position that we have on the board, now White played Rook D3. We only missed a couple of half moves.
Okay, Rook D3 and Rook H2.
Yeah.
So hitting the pawn on H3. You have 2 ways to defend it, either King G3 or King to E4. And both might work. King E4, Rook E2 check. And we have Rook E3, so probably we don't have to worry about that. And King G3 is also possible. Yeah, so we're on board 4, Ervanami. So the win is maybe not completely easy.
No.
Eventually he'll have to
as we said,
progress.
though, Erwin loves his endgames. He won't mind grinding us out, but the question is, how serious are his winning chances, I guess?
Yeah, eventually he'll play B5, but it's very difficult to organize some progress in the position. And I'm not sure it's necessarily winning. Yeah. But of course, I'd take black. Black is the one pressing, but not so easy. I guess we'll have to see.
Shall we have a look at Niels? I don't know if we have the camera of board 2. We can see. I actually forgot to ask, but let's go back to board 2. Niels, I think he was in some sort of trouble earlier, but apparently has turned things around and seems to be winning now.
We thought we were winning. He was winning when we looked at it last time.
Yeah.
At least. I'm going to put it up here and.
Yeah, that is the position on the board. E4 has just been played.
Yeah, we predicted.
Here we are. We look very serious. You look very happy.
Yeah, I basically predicted, or we predicted that the pawns, the E and F
will roll.
Yeah.
They will be very, very difficult to stop.
F5, F4, etc. And I mean, what does White even do? He doesn't have any counterplays.
His knight doesn't have any squares. Yeah, this probably will not go on for much longer, I suspect. No. So where do we go next? We could check back in with. Okay, let's go to board 6. Yeah, I was just gonna say we haven't seen that yet.
One of the girls that went on the Golden Circle tour. No, they went to the Northern Lights tour. Isn't it?
I didn't realize. And I saw they saw them, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I have been to Iceland. I don't know,
seen them?
9 or 10 times. I have never seen them.
You've never seen them?
Once, very faintly, with you actually on St. Patrick's Day, if you remember St. Patrick's night. I still have the hat, the Guinness hat. That's the only time I saw them, but I'm not sure if they were the Northern Lights or if they were drink-induced hallucination.
Okay.
But I believe they were faint Northern Lights.
Yeah, but okay, because it's starting to get more difficult to see them at this time. So Giovanna and Bojana, they saw them, I believe. But okay, we're not going to look at the whole game. It was a Sicilian, but we're just going to go to the current position and see what's happening. So the rating favorite, Constantin Lupulescu, a very strong Romanian grandmaster. He is up a pawn, and he does have the bishop pair. But is it enough?
But also that king on d4 is looking slightly out of place there. Also, what happens if I say what happens if I take on f4?
Yes, exactly. Probably you can just do that.
Actually, he has already taken on f4, and she has played knight e1.
I was trying to find some tricks with knight h4, knight e1. The only trick is if rook here and you take here, but he's not falling for that. So just rook basically anywhere else.
By the way, people in the chat are still talking about Stefan Bream beating Andrew Tang.
Yeah,
it's a very impressive performance. I mean, you said he's only 14, 15. He demonstrated here he'd prepared up to move 16.
Yeah, I was like, really?
Yeah, so once again.
His first win against the Grandmaster in classical chess. So very, very good.
So meanwhile after knight e1, he has played rook h3 actually.
Yeah, we can almost play bishop e5 even and give a check on f4, but it's not necessary. Rook h3. Now it seems like the pawn will just roll the f pawn and we have the bishop.
Yeah, white doesn't really have any counterplay here at all.
Knight is passive, we're not attacking the a-pawn. Yeah. Christian is just going to, Constantine, sorry. He's just going to push the pawns.
His fellow Romanian Grandmaster Mircea Emilian Perligras on board 7 meanwhile has won his game. We could check back with Adiban. Oh, there's an Icelandic player on board 14.
Yes, Atli Freyr Kristjánsson.
Atli Kristjánsson.
I think he should be drawn. I was just looking at it.
He's doing very well, holding
his
his own. He even might have missed a winning chance potentially.
I think he was up a pawn earlier.
Against Potkin,
Potkin, the former European champion as well, so it's quite impressive if you can hold on. So our live board is currently on
board 40, move 46.
We're still on Niels on the live board, but we're looking at Potkin on board 14. Where he is, well, he was down a pawn earlier. However, white does have a very strong passed c-pawn and the immediate threat of knight b5 to take the bishop away and potentially winning it. And the obvious move seems to be a6 to prevent it, but then I guess we can play b5. And if you take, I still get the knight into b5 and might have some problems. Also, if you flick in a move like attacking the knight, I think I can take on a6 and you don't have time to take this because of a7. So maybe some slight chances even for Atli Freyr. Yeah, he's a guy.
Tell us about him.
He's young, just over 20. He used to play a lot when he was younger. Was like a promising junior, but then he quit playing, and he's kind of a late bloomer. It's very similar to what happened to me. I played when I was young. I didn't play for 6 or 7 years, but then when I came back, I had a big jump after working on chess. So
I mean, this would be a massive result, Vladimir Potkin.
But he's already up to almost 2200. He's 2198, and when he quit, I think he was probably 1900.
Okay, that's a big jump.
So yeah,
Potkin, of course, probably most famous for having coached and seconded a lot of strong players. I think he's Karyakin's main second. Yes. But he's also a very strong player, of course. He's a former European champion himself.
But you always see him with the Russian national team.
Yeah.
Seems like they have a coach for every player, it seems, on the team.
Yeah, and so this will be a massive result if we can hold this here.
But what does Black do here?
Actually, Black has played.
Maybe Rook D5.
Black has played F4.
F4, okay.
No, sorry.
Oh, trying to get us.
No, sorry, B5. So White played B5.
Oh, you played Rook D5 after Knight A3.
And so.
Preventing Knight to B5.
Yep.
And then after B5 we have F4. Okay.
So we have a little pawn race.
Yes. And White wants to. Well, do we have time to take on A4?
Yeah, I was wondering. Let's have a look at that.
I would be a little bit worried about the rook being misplaced. For instance, if I push and you get greedy, am I getting mated? Like immediately then. Yeah, so my worries were well founded. And also if king g1, trying to edge the king closer, we can play bishop b6.
Hello to Jens Chess in the chat, by the way, one of my few remaining subscribers, because I once again pulled a disappearing act. Jens Chess is asking, how about a6, b5? Which position is this in? So after f4, I guess. No.
Yeah, okay, f4. Okay, so it seems like we don't have time to take on a4.
a6 on
so
which move,
here.
Jens? Let us know.
So White needs a way to activate the knight on a3. But first, I think we might have to, well, this might be getting a little bit tricky because, like, if we want to bring the king in, Black can give a check. We can't go to f3, which we would like because of this check. And if we go to the back rank, then f3. Looks very strong. I mean, let's say here f3.
Yeah, there's still a lot of danger in this position.
Yeah.
Maybe for the engine it would be easy to defend, but for a human,
not so easy.
Not so obvious.
Well, how much time does?
So White has 17 minutes and 13 minutes to Black.
Okay. Okay, at least he has, plenty of time.
Let's see what else is still on the live boards. So Abhijit Gupta is still, we checked his position earlier, he's still fighting, but it's going to be a draw. Do you want to...
What's the board number?
The board
Maybe
number
it's not so interesting,
is...
12.
12.
12-ish.
I was actually in the process earlier of filling out the results and see if we have any upsets, any big upsets.
So Karkasarian just played queen to f2. And we had to look at this game earlier and we agreed that if we trade queens it should be just a draw because the pass pawns
will be blocked.
Yeah, we'll just cancel each other out.
King.
Yeah. So if Gupta wants to win, he has to keep the queens on. But where to put it? Maybe e5. But okay, maybe you can put it on e5. You're threatening to take on b2, but okay. And well, this is actually I'm giving Gupta a big chance to self-mate himself here with king to g4. Of course, he will not do that.
I will see that, yeah.
So, okay, queen e5 seems to just allow a perpetual then, because we can't escape unless we can go the other way. No, we can't. So maybe he has to go queen d6 then. And now maybe we're ready to push with h3, h2. Could be somewhat tricky to deal with. There are no jacks. The pawn is coming. And we're attacking d5. Even though I don't think we can take it. Or maybe, yeah, maybe we can take it.
So what happens if I push e4?
You want to push e4? Push him, baby. And I go h3.
And queen f5?
Because why not? And h2...
Yeah, I thought I had queen h3, but I don't.
Well,
But do I have e5? Surely I must have a perpetual at least. No?
e5 and...
I guess you will take my pawn.
Yeah, and we want a perpetual, but do we have it? I'm not sure.
I wanted to...
I don't. Yeah, I think we can now play king h5 because you no longer have queen f3 at any stage.
But that's why I wanted to...
But now you can check and take on h2.
Yeah, even that should be a draw, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this must be a draw.
Okay, but okay.
Okay, but okay.
This was actually accidental. But, but now maybe you have to be careful. King f5, and I can maybe win a pawn here. But I mean, black has some slight chances. I mean, it's
some
not,
small,
it's not much,
but I mean, considering how well white defended up until this point, I'd be very surprised if he let this one slip.
Do we have moves?
No.
Queen to c7.
Queen c7, yes, he played.
Okay. That surprises me a little bit. Queen c7 does allow a check on f6, but... no. What's going on? Why not queen f6?
King h7. Oh, wait, after...
Then maybe I can just take king h5.
King h5, queen
check.
f3.
Yeah, you can go
king
king g6. Yes, of course.
Okay, queen e4.
And now you can go here and you sort of change the circuit, and if you go here, you can't go back to f3.
Yeah.
So this is probably what you had, but now white can start pushing.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna play d6 and...
Pushing, baby.
Okay, let's make sure we don't self-mate, but...
Yeah.
I'd probably go to f3, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, these queen end games are so complicated. Yeah, I mean here black would have to be careful. So I mean,
yeah.
Queen c7 is.
He has played queen f6 yeah? and king h5 on the board.
Queen f6, king h5, and we thought queen f3 because why not? Can I play g4? No, I can't. Queen f5 and a take.
Yeah. Maybe they will just.
Maybe it's just a perpetual.
Maybe it's just a drawing.
I mean, he will keep trying, but I don't see anything.
Yeah.
And this line we looked at. I mean, why do you want to allow white to push to d6? I mean, if I can give a check on e6, I mean, I think white has the better chances. It's all about the further advanced pass pawn in these queen end games. So I would have played queen d6, not allowing any checks, but I don't know. So I think
I'm just having a look. There's 3 games here we haven't looked at yet, but the favorites are winning. Oh, actually, well, Gukash is winning against Giacomini. We looked at that game a while back. There's no point looking again because he's a piece up.
Yeah.
And Crushing. 2 games we haven't looked at is on boards 23 and 24. Brunello against Haldarsson. Do you want to go there? Shall we have a look?
Haldarsson 2163. It's not Haldarsson.
Let's see.
It's Jon Arni. Ah, okay.
Jon Arni.
Jon Arni.
What's
he's just trying to hold on down.
It's just a pawn, yeah. Not so exciting. Meanwhile, on the top boards, Niels Grandelius is still playing, but he is completely winning at this stage. On board 4, Erwin is going to have a long evening still.
Maybe that's
ahead
kind
of him.
of
I think he will.
the only
should we go back there?
Game of interest. So maybe we just go to that one.
Yeah.
And have a look at it and maybe just, go
wrap it up
over the results.
Yeah.
and wrap things up for the day. So I'm gonna find Ervin's game.
So we'll go to board 4.
Few.
Yeah.
And I'll get then we can get we get the camera on board 4
Yep.
and the live board, and let's see what's happening. King
Stay
C2.
hydrated, bot is in touch again. You've been live for over 2 hours. We've been live for more than 2 hours, surely. Surely, but we should have drank at least 240 ml.
Okay, this is 250 red.
This is 500 ml.
Oh, it's 500.
That's I don't.
Yeah, 500 really?
Mubot doesn't want us to be very hydrated at all.
No.
If we only should have half a bottle. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's go to board 4.
Okay, so as predicted, Erwin is
King G2 and King
trying to
D7
push
has
on
just
the,
appeared on the board.
queen side. The thing I was worried about is that White's rook earlier was on the d file, and I didn't really see how. Well, that's a drunk d file, but I didn't really see how the king would enter the game. But now the king is starting to penetrate.
Maybe I was wrong as well. Maybe Erwin. Maybe it's not. It's going to take a little while, but I'm fairly confident he will.
Yeah, at this
He will
stage,
win this,
I'm
and
starting
it's
to like
probably
black,
not.
especially because you can bring the king, which I think was the problem before. But now,
Also, just because I have so much faith in Erwin's.
Oh, it's an endgame. Erwin's gonna win.
Yeah, exactly. He's down on the clock though. His opponent has put on some. I mean, it's nothing serious. Erwin still has 13 minutes, but his opponent has put up a very good fight here today.
I think he might be an IM.
FM.
He's an FM. Okay. So king to d7. Yeah, very logical. The thing, the problem for White,
Oh.
he doesn't have any counterplay.
We'll have to. It looks like Abhijit Gupta might be pushing his luck. He has allowed the pawn to
Okay.
d6. Shall we go back
Okay,
to that?
well, yeah, well-
Okay, so let's wrap up on Erwin
Okay.
and let's assess it.
Yeah, I think White is having big problems getting counterplay. He's very passive. His rook is stuck, just defending the pawn. The only way to get something going is to play h4 and g5. But it just looks like it shouldn't amount to much. And it seems like Black has an easy plan. Just, bring the king even to d5 and then push the pawn. And the distant pass pawn should be decisive, actually. So I think it looks very promising for Erwin. But like you said, Gupta might be pushing his luck on board 12 against the young American Kirk Gazarian.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to that one. We had some moves since last time. Last time we looked, we had a look at queen c7, which did surprise us, and he gave the check, king h5, and d6, which also makes sense. We don't have to go to e6 like we did and then push, because we can always, move the queen around. And now queen to c4.
And now he played king d1, which I believe was the best move.
Okay.
Sorry, king d2.
King d2, yeah.
And
Makes the most sense,
yeah.
of course.
and yeah, it looks like black might be running
Yeah.
out of jacks.
Just
actually.
avoid king f3 because queen f1 picks up the queen. But king d2.
Also, oh no, sorry. I thought there was a mate on g4, but there wasn't.
Oh, yeah. But queen d5 and then queen d4.
He has just played queen d5 actually. And absolutely, you are right, queen d4 is the winning move.
Yeah. The queen behind the pass pawn, just like the rook.
Yeah. And after queen d4, it's probably very close to being lights out. And queen d4 is on the board.
Yeah, the problem is you can't go for the race because I will just give a check at the end. h3, d7, h2, etc. Czechoslovakia. And, so what to do? After queen d4, okay, maybe you give a check, but isn't the king just safe? What's the best square? d3 or c3? My first feeling is
C3.
C3, but
Yeah, I wonder if we can somehow hide. Maybe here there's... Okay, here Queen F1.
if we can do something like this, maybe.
We need to find somewhere to hide.
Yeah, because he will always. I think the idea is to give a check and then block the pawn and then try to push around. But
E4, I guess.
yeah. So Queen D4 is the last move.
Okay,
and
Queen G2.
Yeah, he gave a check on G2. That looks like the only move.
Oh, there's only one clearly winning move.
Okay. So Queen, if King C3, Queen C6 check. Do we have time to King D3, Queen F1, King E4? Oh, this is maybe King D3?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we have to prevent him from blockading the pawn. So if we go to C3, then check here and blockade. And King C1, we had this check and back. But King D3 and black is in a big hole.
Yeah,
Big
so...
problems. Has he played it?
And he did play it.
Ooh.
And he's playing those moves very quickly, considering he still has 7 minutes on the clock.
Captain Kirk.
I mean, this is going to be our biggest upset of the day. Captain Kirk, aka Kirk Gazarian, we looked it up earlier because I'd never heard of him. I assume you'd never heard of him. He's born in 2006, so a 12 or 13-year-old player, untitled, from the US. 400 rating points, lower rated.
I think we have to give him a badge. Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk badge. And now King D2 he played.
Is that correct though? Or is he just repeating just to, because Queen G2 back?
Yeah, I don't know. Is the win so obvious?
So
King C3 was the move he should have played.
He should have played.
Of course he will get another chance to play it, but will he find it?
So the current position is, yeah, King D2. So yeah, Queen G2 check has not been played. But what else can black do really? Otherwise we will just play D7.
Yeah, King G2, Queen G2 is on the board now.
Check. So he can get a draw if he wants to, but.
And he's already played King D2. Looks like
What? He's going
Abhijit.
for a draw?
Looks like Abhijit might be getting away with this. I don't know how obvious the winning line is with King.
Is it King C3?
They have agreed a draw.
Oh really?
And draw agreed.
Wow, that's
our first draw of the day on the live boards.
yeah.
And a lucky escape there for Abhijit. But let's have a look.
So is it?
So after Queen.
Is the chat saying King C3 wins or?
So the chat isn't saying much at the moment, but
I was thinking when you played King D3, I thought the idea was to play King to E4.
apparently the best move is King C3.
Is it?
Yeah. But let's try.
But
and
what does it do here? I don't.
Maybe Queen G2 or Queen H1.
Maybe in this one, black can push as well because you're covering the queening square.
Maybe, yeah.
D7, H2, D8, queens. Well, I give a check, so you know.
Yeah, I think this queen and I mean it's very easy, of course, for us here.
I mean, you're playing,
with
you're playing at 2600. Of course, you're happy with the draw, but just doesn't seem like he should be risking much.
And
so
we
King
see
C3
the players
was
there. We just see on the camera Abhijit. We just saw him walking out the playing hall, and I think that's his opponent there in the back. No, never mind. Okay, so a draw for Kirk Gazarian, still a fantastic result. Could have been full point though, by the looks of it, but much easier said with assistance than on the board with little time against a 2600 100 opponent. So I believe we will take you through the main results of today and then wrap the show up here.
I want to, well, not go to the board, but maybe Atlifrir against Potkin is, they're still going to play for a while. And I think Black should be, well, he got the F-pawn though.
So, in the game between Christiansen and
might as well
Potkin.
pull it up, since
Let's pull it
talking
up.
about it. We had to look after F4, King G2. I thought check, and he gave a check, King F1, F3. And rook here, of course, we just attack the pawn and win it. I missed this. But maybe Black didn't mind, and now the A pawn is starting to become dangerous.
Still very double-edged, this position, actually.
Like knight c4, a3. And I can play rook a2, maybe.
It's funny how, because I have chess 24 open and the engine lines, the top 3 lines all say 0, 0, 0.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think if I was at the board, I wouldn't be confident with either color.
No. Like you got the white has the c pawn, you're like, no, I can't allow a check. And if you're white, you're worried about the a pawn. So yeah. Okay, but this game
still everything to play for here.
Go on for a while.
Erwin, you can see him on the camera. Erwin is still harboring home his little advantage. I believe he will get there on board 6. Lupulescu is winning against Giovanna Eric. And then the only other game that's still going on is Gukash. He's black and he's winning against Giacomini. And that is all from the live board. So we only had 3 upsets really on the live boards. That is Kirk Gazarian holding Abhijit Gupta to a draw.
Big draw.
Daniel Abraham's massive win against Marcel Kanarek from Poland. And finally we had him in the studio with us, young Stefan Bream. Brilliant victory against the Penguin Grandmaster Andrew Tang. So that is all from us here for round 1.
Tomorrow
we have a double round.
We have a double round. Wow, we were.
The double round of pain. The first round will start as early as 9 a.m. local time. What is the local time? GMT. And we have Daniel Ranch in the chat with us.
Really?
Just subscribe. Thank you so much, Danny, for subscribing. And big shout out, of course, to the big boss over at chess.com. It's great to see you here. Thank you to everyone else who tuned in today. We'll be back tomorrow. The round starts at 9. We will start around 11 a.m. That is 11.
The plan is
That's
usually
GMT, right?
to start 2 hours into the round. So then we have some, games to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, thank you to Danny. Big shout out, big hello, and thank you to everyone else for tuning in today. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Ingvar.
Thank you.
And good night.
Bye bye.